Good morning, Tampa Bay. We're excited to be back with Inspector Chat today. And today I have Jared Hires with me. He is our youngest inspector, but don't let that fool you because this young man has come to us and just really proven himself over and over again. And we're so lucky to have him as a team member. And he's constantly bringing new and innovative ways to do inspections out there in the marketplace for you. So, Jared, welcome.
Thank you, Dusty. Good to see you.
You too. You too. So, today our talk is going to be on roofs. This is one of the largest concerns of a potential home buyer of all, because of course it's the most costly to repair. So when you're looking at that, you want to have a healthy roof. You don't want to move into a home and find out that, oh my gosh, I've got a $15,000 repair. So that's something that we take quite seriously as we're doing your inspection. And so today we're just going to ask Jared a few questions. So our first question, Jared, is what exactly is the process of a roof inspection?
That's a great question. Really, there's four basic phases. The first phase is actually the night before. We're checking on roofing permits to see if the roof was permitted by a licensed contractor, when it was done, what was done to it. Sometimes the roofing permits actually go into great detail as to what has been done, the amount of shingles, the type of shingles, if the roof was redecked, renailed, all that kind of stuff. So that's step one. Wow. Figure out what kind of roof and what age we're looking at. Step two is whenever we actually get to the property, we're doing an inspection from the ground. We're looking up at the roof, seeing what kind of objects might be in our way. Are there tree limbs that are on the roof? Any power lines that are close that we need to avoid with our ladders? Any other obstructions or anything that might cause us concern? And is there anything blatantly wrong with the roof? If we can see from the ground that there's a very large dip towards the eaves, I know I'm not walking there because I might fall through, and none of us want that. So
you don't like coming through the roofs? You don't
no,
like that being your big entrance?
no, that's not the way I like to start my day or end my day. So that's step two, is from the ground. And then step three is the one that people really only think about, is the actual walking on the roof. We do love to walk the roofs if we can, if it's safe, and if it's accessible. Whenever we're up there, we're doing everything we can to inspect the roof for longevity, any major problems with it, and so on. And then the last phase that people don't think about a lot is the really one of the more important phases, which is inside of the attic. Because when you're in the attic, you can actually tell if there's a roof leak, if there's a problem. A lot of people tend to think that once I get off the roof, I know everything about it. How old it is, if it's leaking, are there any problems, did they ever replace the plywood? Well, I've only seen a portion of it. So we have to go into the attic. That's our last step of the process. And then that way we can have a full picture of your entire roofing system.
Okay. And so when you're, let's go back to walking roofs. So you walk all roofs?
Not all roofs. No, there's some roofs that are just a very bad idea to walk. Which down here in Florida, we don't have a ton of slate tile roofs, but if we do come across those, that's a definite no-no. Those are extremely brittle. You will break tiles. You could possibly break more than that. So slate tile roofs are a bad idea. There are actual wood tile roofs, which are like these little chunks. They're what you see on cottages and stuff like that, and you really don't want to walk those either, because most of the time they're hand cut and it's wood, and wood gets very slippery and again can become very brittle. There is a higher risk whenever you're walking on clay and concrete tile or even metal roofs. Metal roofs can become slippery. Concrete tiles can break or slip underneath you, and clay you really don't want to walk on just because it's thinner and it's very brittle.
So just so our viewers understand the importance of who decides whether you're walking a roof or not.
I do. It's
Okay.
all about the inspectors, um, how the inspector feels about the safety of the roof is even on typical asphalt shingle roofs. If I'm looking at it and I couldn't find a permit and maybe it rained yesterday or it rained this morning even, and it's an older looking roof, I might not walk it just because it's unsafe for me. Now I can still put my ladder up to the eaves and take a look and get a kind of closer to feel the shingles, see if it is as bad as I think it is from the ground.
Okay.
But it's up to the inspector and his comfort level and his safety level.
Okay. And so what about second story roofs? Do you ever walk a second story roof?
Second story roofs can't be accessed that most of the time because our ladders don't reach them, but also they're much more dangerous, higher winds, and just a higher chance of a longer fall. Um,
God
if
knows we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. I always tell people, I don't want to break my leg today or tomorrow, so I'm not going to do that. But if a roof is a second floor and we're on the first floor and we can see up there, at least we can get you a good visual of it. You don't always have to walk a roof in order to have a good understanding of it.
Very good. I like that point because that's what people's opinions are of, I hired an inspector and he didn't get up on my roof. But am
Right.
I right in saying that the underbelly of the roof tells you just as much as being up on the top of the roof?
Correct. Yeah, that's where the fourth phase comes in. And if we can't access the roof, whether it's unsafe or it's second story or something like that, we just spend extra time in the attic. And that's, we always take our time and we always want to be thorough. But whenever we can't walk and see all the different planes of the roof from up top, we're definitely paying extra attention and taking just couple more minutes to check out the nails again and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And when you see daylight coming through from the underbelly, is that a problem?
That's a big problem. I actually had a roof yesterday where I had a hole about the size of a dime, and this is one of the ones where I could actually see it from above. While I was on the roof, I saw the missing shingle, and I looked a
Wow.
little bit closer. I was like, "Oh, there's a hole there." And then whenever I was in the attic, I could see the daylight coming through like the glory cloud or something, just a beam of light shooting into the attic, which is never good.
Never good, right?
Never good.
All right. So, while we're talking about this, in your opinion, what are the three most common things that you find during your roof inspection?
Really, it depends on what kind of roof we have, but we'll just go with the basic asphalt shingle because that's the
Yes.
most common around us. So we find a lot of granule loss, which granules is the very top layer of your asphalt shingle. And whenever we have the granule loss, it can be due to many different things, whether a tree is near and it's hitting the roof, or just the age of the roof. Eventually the granules become brittle and they come off, and we'll see a lot of them in the gutter, or just from high wind zones. You'll see one plane of the roof looks perfect and then the other side of the roof has tons of missing granules. So that's probably our most common. Second most common would be loose or missing shingles. Now there's
Okay.
two different kinds of asphalt roofs, but the 3-tab is the flat one, and then a dimensional shingle has like little layers on it. But both of them can become loose, can become brittle over time. They just everything breaks down, everything wears out. So
Yep.
we can see the lifting of the shingles or just missing shingles in general from, again, high wind zones. And probably the third one would be tree damage, actually. People don't realize how bad they're beautiful, especially the palm trees. They're beautiful, Florida life next to the pool, all that good stuff. But man, over the years, over the time, over the hurricane seasons, the tree limbs sweeping against it, I mean, it just rubs your shingles right off.
So one of the things as a homeowner to make sure that we're maintaining roofs and getting as much life out of it as possible is to make sure you're cutting your trees back, people.
Yes. Yeah.
I know that we don't really think about that because we're enjoying the shade, or
Yeah.
just isn't a thought process that we have. But seriously, that is a big, huge tip here. As a
Yeah.
homeowner, call on your tree service guy, have them climb up there and make sure that you don't have branches touching your roof. And even as somebody who's starting to list your property, if you have had tree branches touching, it's a great idea to call somebody in and trim back your trees, because that doesn't have to be on the inspection report unless it's
Nope.
already caused damage, right?
Yeah.
But if it is touching your roof, we're gonna mention it in the inspection report, and that's why, because it does quite a bit of damage, right?
Right, exactly. And if you have a healthy tree, you're going to have to be trimming it quite frequently, depending on the type of tree as well. So just that homeowner maintenance due diligence, make sure that you have it set up properly.
Yeah. Okay. And so I know one of the things that I hear a lot from you guys, and I see you guys, they like talk back and forth on text all the time, constantly posting pictures of the roof stacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that, and what is the significance of it, and how should it be properly installed?
So the roof stack or pipe stack or flashing, there's many names for these different items. But basically, if you look up at a roof, and I'm sure everybody's seen them, they're the little poles that stick up. They're supposed to be for different usages. Some of them are radon mitigation systems, but most of them are just your sewage ventilation system. So your sewage gases have to escape up through and out through the attic so that you don't have all that sewage gas building up inside of your house. And it allows for proper aeration for water moving through. But those are what we call penetration points in the roof. So they're holes, literally holes in the roof. And so those pipes have to have a flashing that comes down on top of the pipe, comes down, and then sits on the roof decking. It's called a boot flashing or a pipe flashing. So those flashings, especially the old lead ones, are just favorite little chew toys for squirrels. They love to go up there, especially if you have oak trees near you. Homeowner tip. You want to get a little cage that goes over top of those boot flashings, because squirrels need to dull down their teeth, and they do that by chewing on the lead boots. And they love to do it. The problem for you is, as a homeowner, is whenever that happens, you're now opening up the flashing, separating it from the actual pipe, and water can get in between the pipe and the flashing and then come into your roof. So
Yeah.
we always look at those.
He provides you a little squirrel knowledge this morning
Yeah,
too, buddy.
I'm
Keep
full
it
of those fun
interesting.
facts.
But seriously, any opening in your roof, you have skylights, you've put in solar panels, any of those, anytime you put a nail or a screw or something through the roof, it's a penetration, and so you have a potential of a leak.
Yep.
So it's really important as you're going through that. And then like on the what'd you call ventilation pipe, when you see those, a lot of times, are they always vented outside
No,
through the roof?
sadly, no. We have a lot of what we call flipper specials, where they go and they might have moved a bathroom or added a bathroom, and they started to put in the pipe, and also realized they needed to redo the roof, so they didn't put the pipe through the roof, put the new roof on, and forgot. And so the pipe is
So
just
now
sticking
you
up
have
into the
sewage,
attic.
right? Yeah,
Right,
now
now
you
you
have
have
sewage
sewage
dumping in.
gases
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
into the attic. Not good. Not good.
Yeah. So anything else you want to talk about roofs?
Well, it's just, like Dusty said at the very beginning, they're very important. We take them extremely seriously, and we take our safety and your safety seriously. So one thing I can't stress enough is don't come with us on the roof. We have very many brave buyers out there, but please do not ask us to come on the roof with us. Do not just jump on our ladders. That is a safety hazard for us. It's a safety hazard for you. What you do after we leave the property and it's your property, totally up to you. And I actually do always recommend to buyers to always do a yearly inspection yourself. If you're able and capable to get on your roof, or at least put a ladder up there after hurricane season, especially here in Florida, just to take a peek, see what happened. Has anything happened? You know, cut it off at the head, you know.
Yeah. So that's right around the corner, hurricane season. I think it started the first week in June. So here we are. Just came out of COVID. Now we've got hurricanes coming at us. So it's always something, right?
Bring it on.
All right. So we have an announcement, and I've only talked to a handful of people about this, but Jared has become a drone operator. So that is super cool. And now for those second story roofs, or those roofs that perhaps are not safe to be walking, he can at least take some images for you and include that in your inspection report. So I'll let Jared explain what he's doing, and then I think we're going to get a little slideshow to see some of the pictures that we're capable of handling. So go ahead, Jared.
Yep. So now I am officially an FAA Part 107 certified drone operator. So I have a nice little neat card that says, yes, I can do this. But basically, like we talked about, there's some roofs that just can't be accessed from just our ladders, second story roofs, or if it's a dangerous roof, a roof that has a really steep pitch that you really don't want to be walking, or something like that. We now can use this little beautiful piece of machinery. This is a DJI Mavic Pro, and it takes 4K video. It takes beautiful screenshots, just still captures. It's very maneuverable, good in high wind situations, all that kind of stuff. Now, just to be clear, this is also only going to be used if conditions are safe and allowable. Some problems that we can run into with a drone, just like with regular roof inspections, is it accessible? Are there too many trees around? Is my drone going to fly into the tree and then my bosses get mad at me? If so, I'm not throwing my drone up there. It's just not going to happen. But also power lines. Are there lines in the way where we can't actually fly safely? And then there's the whole airspace authorization thing that comes into play. If you are close to MacDill, sorry, I can't use the drone on your second story roof because I don't want to get it shot down. And there's just certain rules and regulations that we have to follow. So one of the things I always do is check and see where your house is located. If it is a 2-story roof, am I able to use my drone? If so, I'll schedule a flight plan and actually get it done.
Awesome. So wait a minute. Wait, step back. You have to schedule a flight plan?
It's a good idea to schedule a flight plan, especially in areas that are close to restricted locations. We are around a lot of airports. I mean, we service many counties, and all those counties have airports. And so if we're too close to an airport, or even in a general vicinity, there's certain airspace requirements that we have to follow. And so scheduling a flight plan ahead of time so that the ATC can see that I'm flying, I'm safe, I have, you know, everything that I need in order, and I am a certified operator, that just gives everybody the thumbs up. And even sometimes if I can't schedule a flight plan, I'll call the non-emergency police line to let them know, hey, I'm a certified drone operator. I'm operating at this address. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. They always appreciate it. And I've never been told no yet. So all good so far.
So I love that you're taking it to that degree, I guess. Like, you're keeping everybody informed, you're keeping everybody safe, and you're doing the right thing. And that is the one thing that I can say about the FBI group. That is how we run our business, from point A to point Z, and anything in between. We are professional. We make sure that we know our rights and your rights, and we do everything to ensure that everybody is safe, well informed, and feeling a peace of mind and a comfort level. So Jared, let me ask, how is that being handled? If you're doing an inspection, is the drone images, are they included, or is there a fee?
So for general 2-story roofs, just taking some still shots, or if it's a roof that can't be accessed due to safety concerns, we are just taking still photos for free. It's just as if I'm walking the roof with my camera and just taking those still shots. But if you want something cooler, which we're happy to provide, such as a video of your actual roof and property, then we can do that for you. We are also able to do a dictated video where I can actually be speaking over the video footage, so that I can tell you this is the south side of your roof. You can see here about 4 rows up on your shingles that you have tree limbs on your roof, and that it's breaking up the shingles, so you want to get somebody out there. So we can do many things, and again, for scoping out your property too, we have some very large properties that we've done in the past, and so it's pretty cool that now we can use the drone, kind of take a look around those properties, and tell you basically everything that we find.
So actually, we are including it in inspections where we cannot get on a second-story roof, or where you are don't feel safe getting on the roof. However, if you're looking for anything outside of that, call the office. We're doing it kind of on a custom basis, starting pricing at $100 depending on the scope of work. So that's how we're going to be using the drone. Would you like to show them some pictures?
Yeah, so I'll show you. Hopefully it works here. Can you see the pictures?
They can now.
All right, cool. So this is a house that I did. Had a very, very cool looking metal roof, but you can see here it's pretty steep, and it had rained the morning of, so I just didn't want to risk anything on it. But you can see these pictures are very high quality. Hopefully it's coming through well on the actual video there, but very high quality photos. We can take these and then actually zoom in and take a look at all these roof screws, make sure that on these metal roofs that none of them are pulling away. And even when I'm at the inspection, this is one of those pipe stacks and boot flashings that we were talking about earlier. And you can see that I can get very close to it with the drone. I have a 3-foot clearance, so I can get very close and take a look. And I can even zoom in on the drone closer than this, just to make sure that everything's good and working. So that's just, some of the things that we can do with it. I have a ton of other pictures, but right now they're not loading. So, but that gives you a good quick idea.
Well, I have to honestly say, I love these inspector chats that I've been having with you guys. Last week we went through, last 3 weeks we've gone through new construction with Maj, and then we had Shane on and did the top 3 common infractions. These are really great. You guys always teach me something so that I can go out and be more dangerous for you guys as you're marketing. And I appreciate you getting up so early.
All good. I got 2 babies. I'm used to it.
Yes, you do. They're beautiful babies too. So thank you for being a member of our team. Thank you for being on Inspector Chat. And we will see you back next week with another inspector. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Dusty.
Thanks.